when you got long braids, sometimes you sit on your hair. A Cardi B lyric comes to mind, but I won't say it here. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on today's video. If you're new here, hey girl, hey. Today we are talking about another true crime video, so make sure you stick around, hit that subscribe button, because here we go. Hey guys, if you see me looking down, it's because I got my notes here on my computer. Today, we're filming on a Monday. This is for Monday Mayhem, so I'm going to upload this on a Monday. It's pre-recorded, so let's try to get with it. I got some wine. Today, I got some wine. Stella Rosa, if you may. It's one of those kind of days. So, I'm going to pour me some wine, and we're going to get into a new case. The case is about Anna Palmer. She's a 10-year-old girl who is found by her mom. Let's pour some wine. Let's get into it. Let's make sure I'm in frame. Okay, guys, today we are talking about Anna Palmer. She's a 10-year-old girl. Ooh, that's creeping me out. Hold on, y'all. Look, I did all that for nothing, just to come and run back here. Is it just me, or do open doors, cracked doors freak y'all out too? Yeah, I had to close that door. But sorry about that. I'm gonna use this blanket because it's also freezing in my house. Oh, okay. So today we are talking about Anna Palmer. She was 10 when this case happened. She was born in 1988, just like me. So we are around the same age. She was described by her mom as a little socialite. She had a lot of friends in the neighborhood. This case takes place in Salt Lake City, Utah. I never hear of Utah, but this is a case that stands out mainly because this little lady is so young when this tragic event happens to her. So Anna was last seen in her neighborhood. She called her mom around 5 o'clock and asked if she could go play with her friends. Mom said, of course, you can go. She allowed her to go. And then she told her she'd be home around 7. So around 7 o'clock is when Anna left from playing with her friends, a couple of her girlfriends, and she walked down the block with one of her friends, and she hugged her goodbye, and then Anna went on home. About 7 o'clock, when Anna's mom got home, Anna's mom found her on the porch. Anna's mom described her as pale, waxy, yellowish to the skin. She believed that she was deceased when she approached her. Anna's mom would later call 911 and be instructed to do CPR, but with no efforts, she wasn't able to help her daughter. She wasn't able to save her. So Anna was transported to the hospital, where she was later pronounced deceased. So with Anna being pronounced dead, this began the homicide investigation. Anna was found and she was severely beaten. She was also stabbed, and investigators will state that SA also took place. Anna had 5 stab wounds to her throat. One was believed to cause internal bleeding, but coroners couldn't say what happened first, so it was very severe what happened to little Anna, and her case will go unsolved for almost 10 years because there were witnesses, but no one actually saw, of course, what happened to Anna. They only could spectate or discuss what happened leading up to it or what they observed afterwards. So there wasn't much evidence for them to go on. And this happened in 1988. I'm sorry, I don't believe I said that before. So September 10th, 1988. Girl, 1998. I was born in 88. Anna was born in 88. 1998. I'm so sorry. So it's September 10th, 1998. There was not much DNA evidence, but of course the advances in technology, what we know today, changed the outcome of this case. In 2001, Anna's case was reopened. and they reopened it because they now had the technology to test the DNA that was found underneath Anna's fingernails. So baby girl was a fighter. She scratched her attacker, and they were able to identify two I don't even know how to say it, 2 different strands of DNA underneath Anna's nails. So one, of course, obviously belonged to Anna, but the other one belonged to her attacker. Y'all, this wine is good, but it's hitting my teeth because I put it in the freezer and it's chilling the bleep bleep out of me, and I'm already cold, but I'm gonna drink this wine. So let's talk about this attacker who, let's talk about this attacker. His name is Matthew John Breck. I believe I'm saying that right. Matthew John Breck. I'm not going to put it on the screen. You can Google it. I'm not going to give him that kind of validation. Anyways, the DNA comes back to Matthew John Breck. And what police do from there is they put it in the national database. FBI has this database for DNA. It's called CODIS. I don't even remember what year it started. Things I learned in school that I don't remember today. I don't remember what year CODIS started. But it's a national database. Anytime someone commits a crime or there's DNA evidence, they log it into this system and they can cross-reference it and see if they have a match. So police were able to get a match for the DNA to Breck, and then from there what they did was figure out where Sir Breck was. So of course, where else are criminals? He's in the Department of Corrections. So they figure out that he was in Idaho Department of Corrections. I believe it's called Idaho Correctional Institute, something like that. My city, we call it Department of Corrections. I think they have all these different names because they have all these different owners. Anyways, confinement. And just a little bit of back history on Breck. What I was able to find from his criminal history, he was previously convicted of burglary, aggravated assault. It said misdemeanor. I'm like, how is it aggravated assault a misdemeanor? I don't know. Different codes and different charges for different states. But his most recent stay, in which why he was in Idaho Correctional Institute, none other than a sex offender crime, sodomy. Someone under the age of 16. So while he was serving his sentence for that, police went to Idaho to go interview him, and just like you would have thought, no help whatsoever. I don't know her. I don't know of that. I wasn't in Utah. I was in Utah. No help whatsoever. So from there, the police leave. He's still serving his sentence for his sodomy case. So he's still in confinement. So the police know where to get him if they need him, right? So from there, the police go and they are re-interviewing these witnesses that they got statements from in 1998. So there is the girls that Anna was playing with that night. They were able to, I believe, talk to 2 of them. I'm not sure how many of the children that they previously interviewed that they were able to re-interview. But these 2 girls, they stand out. There's the first young lady. I do not want to butcher her name, so I will put it here on the screen. I'll put it on the screen. What's her name? I'm not going to butcher it. I'm not going to butcher it. And typically I'm really good with names, but I'm not going to butcher this young lady's name. So they went to go interview her friend that she was playing with that night. One of the girls she was playing with that night, but specifically the young lady that walked home and observed this strange guy is how they describe it. So Anna's friends described this strange guy that they observed this night as just being weird. He was walking back and forth from one side of the sidewalk to the other side. So imagine you're walking down the street and there's some guy staggering between both sides of the neighborhood. Just really weird. So he started out behind them, and Anna's friend told her, hey, let's just let him pass. And he ends up passing, and that's when the 2 girls, they say goodbye, they hug, and Anna's friend is quoted in an article saying, just run. So Anna ran home and her friend ran home. But when Anna's friend looked back to see if Anna made it home safely, she didn't see Anna, but she also didn't see this strange guy. Also, there was a second young lady who did observe this strange guy that night. Her name is Amy. She is 14 at the time, and she's showing off her little kitty, her kitten that she had just gotten. She's showing it off to some of her friends, some people down the street, and she notices Anna and her friend also walking down the street. But again, they notice this same creepy guy. So she's like, no, he's giving me off the wrong vibes. So she's just looking at him, and she is able to describe that he has on an unbuttoned baseball jersey. And witnesses will later say that that is something that Breck was often seen wearing. He had on a tank top underneath, but they said this is his usual profile. You know those guys who, or maybe even some of the girls, who are generally in the same thing. Normally, if you see me, I'm in some kind of t-shirt and leggings. If they describe me as that, I'd be like, yeah, probably, likely. If they throw in the Crocs, they got me. Anyways, she described Breck as this weird, creepy guy that night that she observed. And then the third witness, which was the kicker, I'm like, in the pictures, and I'll insert a picture of Breck somewhere here. In the pictures, he looks like this short, stubby, where's my precious? But dude is 6 foot and some. And they describe him as like 300 pounds. So he's heavy. Hefty. And I'm like, this poor 10-year-old baby. But like I said, baby girl was a fighter. And that's how he's described by the third witness who observed him that night. She described him as ducking and dodging in the alleyway not moments, but like hours after police were canvassing the area trying to figure out what happened to Anna. And she said this was uncharacteristic of him because he was this big guy and he normally made his presence known when he walked down the street. Just very boom in your face, kind of acknowledge me, hear me, I am man, So she just thought that was unlike him to be doing that. So of course they can place him in the area. And they described his hair too. They described his hair as dark and stringy. Was stringy the word they used? I know they called him strange. Y'all, I'll put prancing in my notes. He wasn't prancing down the street, but that's how I imagine this scrub. Because, why, sir? How did they describe his hair? I can't even find it. But anywho, this is how they describe Breck. The witnesses describe Breck. They have the witnesses. They have the DNA evidence. They are able to they're able to charge Breck with the murder. Unfortunately, they don't include the SA charges, but they do get him convicted with a life sentence. So, with the DNA evidence, they were able to close this case. Nancy Sterling, I believe, is Anna Palmer's mother. She waited a long time for justice for her baby girl, but nonetheless, he is charged. In August 2001, Breck accepts a plea deal for aggravated murder, and he is sentenced to life in prison. So with this case, I just want to highlight Anna Palmer was a 10-year-old little girl in 1998. I was 10 in 1998, and I'm positive I walked down the street, played outside, unbeknownst to my mother, and was very much in harm's way. It's unfortunate that this happened to this little girl. Very aggressive, heinous crime. And I, like many others affected by crime in general, are thankful that this guy is off the street. I honestly do not agree with the life sentence. I believe it should be much more. This was him starting out. If I do the math, I believe he was 19 at the time. He was 32 when he was taken into custody, and I believe he was 19 at the time of the murder. I'm like, if that was the beginning, does he have other victims out there? It's very aggressive for a young man to be doing. I mean, he was huge. This guy was huge. But I just want to wrap up the case. I want to thank you guys for clicking on this video, tuning in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you in my next upload. Thank you. Bye, guys. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Ah. Ah.